Hi everyone, welcome to Wednesday 5 at Live with me, Lynn Constantine. I'm Customer Success Manager here at Supermums, and I'm delighted every week to tell you about a different subject that we're talking about during this week. So I like to let you know where to get started, and people come on calls with me all day, every day, with the same plan in mind. They're wanting to get a job within Salesforce. They're wanting to have the flexibility and the work-life balance. And that's where we come in. So people talk to me globally every day, and everyone is excited and enthusiastic about where to get started. So today, that's what I'd like to give you the indication on where to get started. And then if you would like to, you can book in a one-to-one session with me. I would be more than happy to go through things to talk about your transferable skills, your previous industry knowledge, and see together if we can come up with a plan for you. But the question in hand is, where do you get started? So you would get started by doing the foundational knowledge course, which is Salesforce admin. There are three options for you to think about. You can either do the Ultimate admin course, the Essentials admin course, or the Accelerator admin course. If you go onto our website, you can see the three all together and you can see what is included in each one. And I would advise you to do that because that's really useful for you. If you're looking for costings and you want to enroll, you go further down the page. On each of the courses, you can go further down the page and you will then have a nice neat list of the admin courses again, and below it, it has the costing and where you can sign up. So it's quite clear and transparent on the website, but if you need further assistance, then get in contact with me. And as I said, towards the end of this session, I'm going to drop the Calendly link for you to book some time in with me. And also I'm going to drop in there my email address and some other bits and pieces that you might find useful. So as I said, the reason that people come to talk to me every day is that they want to spend more time with the children. They're looking for the flexibility. They're looking for more money, which is another big one that people say to me. And you may be a woman returner. You might have been on mat leave and coming back and looking at what you can do next. Or you might be in a job that you hate. You might not be happy there. You only get one life, so it's definitely worth changing your career up if you need to. Or you might be looking for that all-important sales progression where you can have a job and you can nicely have some progression throughout your career by upskilling and retraining. So there are lots of ways that you can look at moving forward, but to start with, you need to do that admin course. And as I say, I'll drop the link in for the website and you can clearly see. Now, my advice to you, and of course, I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to, if I'm having a one-to-one with you, then of course we can talk about your industry skills and your knowledge previously and see where it nicely fits. But I'm talking to everyone when I say that Ultimate Admin is the best way to get started. When I started out in Salesforce, that's what I did. I did do a little bit of Trailhead and I did do a bit of Udemy before I got to the point of finding Supermums. And I'm so glad I did because I now work for them, which is really great. So with Supermums, what you will get is an awesome global community of people who are genuinely there to celebrate your success. So when you get your certs, everyone is really excited for you. When you get your job, of course, everyone is really excited for you. And Salesforce is huge on LinkedIn. So absolutely make sure that you go onto LinkedIn, find Supermums, add me, add everyone that's got a Supermums logo, and see what they've got to say, because everyone has such great things to say about Supermums. Now, when I say global, I mean that we have people that do the courses from all over the world. We have people that have relocated in the UK. We have lots of people that have relocated and have some really great skills from their previous country. And they absolutely can't find a job because they don't have the Salesforce experience and they don't have the certs. So they come to me and they say, please, Lynn, can you help me and tell me where to start? Now, so when I say mums, which I've already said to you, predominantly, I would say about 80% come to us that are mums, because the reason that they're looking for the tech career. So they want to be a woman in tech because they want the work-life balance for their children. However, we have people who are, as I said, global, that are men, women, and everybody in between. You don't have to be anything to join our course. Every single person out there is welcome. So if you are a person who wants to learn the system, if you're not working, you can fund yourself, of course. If you are working, perhaps go and see your line manager and see if they would be prepared to pay, because quite often CPD upskilling within your company is really beneficial to the organization, because the more knowledge that their team have, the more productivity from the company. We also have organizations, large and small, that train their teams through us. So I can talk to you about either if you want to put an individual on a course, a specific course, or if you want to upskill with the whole of your team. And of course, that might not just be admin, that might be marketing cloud, data cloud, CRM analytics. There's so many courses that we can help you with. But as I say, bringing it back in, today we're talking about admin. Admin is the foundational knowledge for you to start a career in Salesforce. I remember when I started out, I got some great advice from different people, and they all said admin is the foundational knowledge, because what you'll learn is the system from the back end to the front end. So you know all about the system. And then you can see if you want to upskill to become a consultant. You might want to be a business analyst. You might want to be a manager. You might want to be a change manager. You might want to go into marketing cloud. There are so many different career opportunities, but admin is your foundational knowledge. So that's where you need to start. We have lots of people who have done training with us, and they've gone on to get some really great careers out of this. When you consider that over 90% of the Fortune 500, which is thousands of organizations, all use Salesforce as their CRM platform. So just consider that when you're thinking about changing your career, that it's a great way to go. So it's really good to start out and, you know, and do this particular course. Now, let me tell you the structure of this specific course, and then I'm going to find you some links to drop in. Please, if you have any questions whatsoever, you are very welcome to drop them in the chat. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put my email address in there right now, because if you've got a specific question and you don't want to put it in the chat, then just email me and I'll come straight back to you. Give me a second. There, I think that's quite important for you. Okay, so the structure of the Ultimate Admin course. The course has so much more of a wraparound than just training. The way the Ultimate is structured is you will see on the website, it is a 6-month program. But if I break that down, your first 3 months is your learning, and that's where you're going to have 1 live session per week. That will be about 3 hours. Please bear in mind that you can do either a morning session or an evening session, because everything is recorded as well, so you are able to watch it again if you don't make the live. But we have people, as I've said already, that do our training globally, so they maybe can't make the morning session. So quite often the people from the US and the people that are working will likely do the 6 p.m. in the evening. Evening for us, morning for the US. So you're able to join one or the other cohort, and then that will be the group that you attend every week. But of course, if you can't make the session or you want to watch it again, it will be nice and neatly in your portal. The day following the live session, it will go into your portal alongside lots of other resource and your structured and guided homework. So all of that sits nicely in your portal. You will have access to 2 orgs, albeit fictional, of course. The first org is where you do the live session, the 3-hour live session with our awesome trainer, Liam. And he will be showing you how to do things. Everything's click, there's no code. So he will say, for example, click this, this, and this will happen. The great thing with going on live is if it doesn't, you can say, hang on a minute, Liam, I'm not quite sure. That didn't seem to work. So it's great to be live, but if you can't be live, then you can watch the recording. And there are plenty of people around to support you if you're still not sure. So that is 3 months. Month 4 on Ultimate Admin is where you're going to do exam prep. You're going to have study groups. You're going to have all of your great community supporting you to get you to where you want to be, which is to get your admin cert. If you're not quite ready in month 4, we do have continued access to study groups, so you can absolutely continue learning if you need to. But if you feel ready, the majority of people in month 4 will take their exam. Now, the following 2 months of the 6 is made up of a really important part. That is where you will do some work experience. You'll get your hands dirty. Following your knowledge. So an organization will allow you to come into their organization. Obviously, everything's online. It will be approximately 48-hour project over 2 months. So you do the project. We have many people that have gone on to get a job with the organization. Of course, there's no guarantees, because they might not even be looking for someone at that point. But once you've got your foot in the door, sometimes it opens up other doors. As I said, as I always say, I was lucky enough to have done the course with Supermums, and then I got a job with them. So it did open up a different door for me than I'd set out to do. But, you quite often find that, don't you, when you do something new. I see that there are people on here, so please feel free to drop any questions as we go into the chat, and I'd be delighted to answer them for you, or drop me an email, which I've also put in the chat. So back to the job in hand. So the Ultimate Admin is over 6 months. It has 3 months of learning. It has 1 month of exam prep, and then you get your work experience. And that work experience is so important, because not only can you add to your CV that you've got your great transferable skills and your industry knowledge from your previous roles, you've also done some work in the industry. So you've got this lovely shiny cert, but you've done some work in the industry, and that is so valuable. Even if you don't get a job with the organisation that you've done your work experience with, they will give you a reference to take on to your next employer, which is really important. So moving on to essentials. So essentials is the middle of the 3 admin courses. As I've said before, admin is foundational knowledge. Now, with essentials, I would probably recommend that you would do essentials if you know a little bit about Salesforce. So if you've worked in the industry, or if you've got a team that want to upskill and do some admin, then essentials is exactly what it says on the tin. So you turn up to the live session of Ultimate, if you like, every week, and then you go away and do your own study. So it's not so much support and guidance. But if you know about Salesforce and you're here just to get your cert, you might feel that just turning up to a live session every week works for you. So that's probably the main 2 differences. I mean, that one-to-one mentor and the work experience is huge. But if you don't need it, then you might take essentials. The third one is the accelerator. Accelerator, again, I would say probably you want a little bit of knowledge, excuse me, but maybe you've been an end user and that's enough knowledge for you. You could absolutely do the accelerator. But my advice is always, when you're starting out, to start with the admin certification, and our ultimate one is absolutely the ultimate course. So that will give you everything you need for you to be able to go on and get your cert. There is, of course, the conversation that you and I can have personally on a one-to-one basis, where we can talk about, you know, your previous industry. Because what I recommend everyone does is take their industry vertical, if you like, and pair it up with a Salesforce career. So, for example, if you've been in the healthcare, if you've been a nurse, or you've been working somewhere within a healthcare environment, then you'd probably be looking to do a Salesforce role within the healthcare industry. If you've been in finance, you might want to look at being in the financial, you know, working for a bank, American Express. I mean, there's so many organizations that are within the financial industry that use Salesforce. So again, find your industry knowledge and your transferable skills and pair it up with Salesforce. We have teachers, educational side of Salesforce is worth looking at. I mean, there are so many organizations, as I said before, that use Salesforce. So find something that you either know about or you want to know about. Learn about that and then pair it up with Salesforce. And then when you apply for these roles, it's great to be going to someone who is interviewing you and says, and you're able to say, well, actually, I know all about your industry, but I can do Salesforce, because that is a great match, and that's where you're going to get the really good jobs. As I've said before, there is so much you can do within Salesforce. There are so many upskilling roles that you can do once you've started out. But to get started, foundational knowledge is admin. That's what you need to remember. It's just which one you do. So I'm going to drop in a few links, as I promised you. So give me a second. Let me just pull them up. So the first one is, if you want to talk to me, let me just, and you want to book in a live session with me. I love to talk to people. So you can come on a call with me, grab yourself a coffee. We can just have a chat. I can just tell you about everything. But if you've got questions, come absolutely with loads of questions. And I'm always delighted to answer those for you as well. I promised you a couple of other links again, which I'm going to pull up. So I suggested maybe, let me just find this. I'm going to put this in, which is where I've already explained to you how to look at the different options on the website. But if you, let me find you again. If you look here, that will take you through to the website. So that's definitely worth looking at. I would say to you as well that we are all here to help you. We are all here to support and guide you to get to where you want to be. So if you want to do something, or you think you do, but you're not quite sure what it's all about, please email me or book in some time, and I'd be delighted to go through everything with you. Our next course is very soon. So the next Salesforce admin, which is going to be the ultimate and the essentials, because if you remember, I said they are part of the same. That starts week commencing the 4th of November, so very soon. And the exciting thing is you can sign up. You have to sign up by this Friday, just to say that, because that's the deadline day. So sign up, and then we'll get you onboarded and get you really excited, get you to have a look around your portal, make it your own, have a look at the resource that's in there, have a look at the information, and get yourself ready for when it starts on the 4th of November, because that will be here in no time at all. So the next course, as I say, 4th of November, book in some time with me if you can get into my calendar, because it's pretty chocker, or drop me an email and I'd be delighted to answer any of your questions. I hope you found that useful today. I hope it's given you an insight into where to get started. As I say, any questions at all, anything, nothing is a stupid question. So anything you need me for, please just drop me an email. If you can, book in some time with me, or you can drop me an email and say, Lynn, can you call me? And I'll find some time, day or night, to call you. So don't worry about that. I look forward to welcoming you onto our course. I look forward to welcoming you as part of this awesome community. And I look forward to seeing where this takes you. Take care. And I hope you found this interesting. And I'll see you next Wednesday for my Live at 5.